Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Comment below if you're so motivated to do so. This is Wonders of a Black Woman. Well, a Houston pastor has been ordered to pay a woman $2.45 million for giving her herpes. This is her story.
Sometimes God will use people to help other people.
Yeah.
And sometimes he will use what is not always going to be pretty. You know, it's not always going to look good. But I'm willing.
This week, we have an exclusive tell-all. The woman who got herpes from a Houston pastor is telling her story. A judge ordered Pastor Ralph Douglas West II to pay this victim $2.45 million in damages after a jury found that he gave her herpes. He's a pastor at the Church Without Walls. This is him.
Just because we have been saved does not mean you no longer need to hear the gospel. The Christian faith is not a sprint, but a marathon.
Now, the Church Without Walls, it's a Houston mega church with more than 24,000 members that was founded by West's dad. Now, while spreading that good word, he was also spreading disease. His victim, Denitra Cahey, is finally ready to tell her story right here exclusively on Fox 26 Crime Files. Denitra Cahey, thank you so much.
I just want to say this lady is extremely brave to show her face in public and to reveal that she has herpes. Now, we all know, or many of you may not know, but there's no cure for herpes. I just wanted to, because it's very important, because there's a rise in these STIs out here. Genital herpes is, just going by this mayoclinic.org, go to mayoclinic.org or Google herpes, Google STIs, learn how to protect yourself. You should be tested regularly and make sure your partner is tested as well. And that includes your husband, because sometimes people are out there slipping and they can end up with something. So even if you're married, you still should be practicing safety and making sure you and your spouse are tested regularly. But just for my PS public service announcement, my little PSA, genital herpes is a common sexually transmitted infection. The herpes simplex virus causes genital herpes. Genital herpes can often be spread by skin-to-skin contact during sexual activity. It's very important to understand that you can get this from skin-to-skin contact. So even if the person has on protection, if you understand what I mean, just that touching, that skin-to-skin contact is still going to make you susceptible, if that person has herpes, for you getting it, because it's skin to skin. So it spreads skin to skin contact during sexual activity. Some people infected with the virus may have very mild symptoms or no symptoms. They can still spread this virus even if they're asymptomatic. Other people have pain, itching, and sores around the genital area, the anus, or the mouth. There is no cure for genital herpes. Symptoms often show up again after the first outbreak. Medicine can ease symptoms. It also lowers the risk of infecting others. Condoms can help prevent the spread of of genital herpes infection, but it's still skin to skin contact. So there's, and I really think you should be careful out there, ladies and gentlemen. Most people infected with HSV don't know they have it. They may have no symptoms or have very mild symptoms. Symptoms start about 2 to 12 days after exposure to the virus. They may include pain or itching around the genital area, small bumps or blisters around the genital area, anus or mouth, painful ulcers that form when blisters rupture and ooze or bleed, scabs that form as the ulcers heal, painful urination, discharge from the urethra, the tube that releases urine from the body, and discharge from the vagina. During the first outbreak, you may commonly have flu-like symptoms such as fever, headache, body aches, swollen lymph nodes in the groin. Okay, so I'm going to leave a link so if you can get more information about this, you really need to educate yourself. So I applaud her for coming out and sharing her story, such an intimate subject matter, but she sued him and she's speaking out for the first time.
How would you respond to it?
And that's all he had to say for himself?
Yeah, it was not much of a react. Like, I'm sorry, like I'm crying when I'm telling him.
Wait, let me just go back a little bit.
And I feel like it almost gives you like a sense of trust in someone.
Yes.
When you have similar backgrounds and you
Correct.
believe in the same things.
Correct.
And so around that time, like in 2017, is that when you became, the relationship turned sexual? Y'all started having intercourse?
I would say somewhere around there, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't recall the dates exactly, but yeah.
Yeah. And so it was a real relationship. You guys
Yes.
were
we
together.
had actually dated,
Yeah.
and then from there, yes.
Yeah. And so we do actually have a soundbite from his deposition that he gave. He said that he never recalled having a conversation with you about STIs or any diseases at all. We'll go ahead and go to that soundbite.
Do you recall whether you told her during the spring of 2017 that you did not have any sexually transmitted diseases?
I don't recall telling her that.
Do you recall her asking you about that?
No.
Okay, so he says that y'all never had the conversation about STIs. Did you have the conversation about STIs?
Yes, we had the conversation. He said he didn't recall, and during that deposition, he almost didn't recall anything. But yes, we definitely, we exchanged morals, we exchanged beliefs, and then we had those conversations.
Yeah, just like any couple does.
Correct.
And I will say you are right about the deposition. I think every question.
Well, I mean, just realistically, most people don't ask their boyfriend, do you have any diseases? Do you have any STIs? Do you have AIDS? Do you have herpes? Do you have syphilis? That's usually, that's just usually not in the conversation piece. And I think that that's what we need to be honest with. You're trying to be intimate with someone. You should know what's going on with them to make sure they don't have anything. Now, granted, once you start being in a relationship with the person, they could always cheat and end up getting something. That's why trust is very important. You really have to build a level of trust with a person that you're being intimate with. And I know that may sound old-fashioned, but I mean, you have to be realistic. I mean, some people end up with so much mileage on their vajayjay with all these different men, because I mean, if that's what you want, it's your body, but at the same time, most women don't want to have all this mileage on their body. They are looking for relationships, and they're hopping from relationship to relationship, having sex with these men, really not asking them questions, not going to the doctor with them to see if they have any STIs. And I know in Texas and in different parts of the country, syphilis is really on the rise. Some people are having different speculations why a lot of these diseases are starting to escalate so much in these major urban areas around the country. But the bottom line is, it is what it is. You have to be safe. Now, she's saying that she had this conversation with him, but you have to take it a step further. You don't just have the conversation. You actually go with that person to the doctor, and you make sure that they are getting tested, and you hear the results. You're going there together as a couple, and you're getting the results together. It's just as simple as that.
Nearly every question I asked, he said he didn't recall.
Right, yeah.
So take me to the point where you realized you had contracted an STI.
Okay. So one thing about me, I kind of know my body, you know, and if something within my health is out of the norm, I could pretty pinpoint that.
Yeah.
So after one of our, you know, course of events, I started to notice that something just was not right.
And how long had y'all been like sexually active at this point? Like, had it been a while?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this was someone who you really felt like you trusted?
Yeah, it was
and
just him, and
Yeah.
I was in a relationship with him, yeah.
Yeah, not even a second thought about it.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. And so, go on. So you
Yeah, so I
started
noticed,
feeling...
yeah, something wasn't right within a matter of days, and so I immediately made an appointment. And while waiting for my appointment, I even informed him, you know, something is just not right, you know?
Yeah. Just like you would with a boyfriend.
Yeah.
You know?
And so after going to the doctor, they were able to determine by blood work that I was recently exposed and that I had the antibodies in my system.
Wow. What was that like for you? I mean, what was your reaction?
I was blank. I was scared because I didn't know exactly what all come with that. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know how it would affect my life. And then I just felt very, you know, shamed, kinda, you know, it was just very uneasy. During that time, I was into modeling. And so just not, I wasn't a person that had self-esteem issues at all.
Yeah.
So during that little period of time, you know, that did affect me mentally, you know, emotionally, and, you know, so yeah.
Yeah. And did you also have a sense of betrayal? Like, did you immediately know who had done this to you?
I knew it was him.
Yeah.
At that moment, you know, I knew, okay, you know, I need to go talk to him and let him know this is what is going on with me.
Yeah.
And so when I went to have that conversation with him, it was at that moment of that conversation, that's when I learned that he knew he had it and he had failed to tell me.
So did he disclose that to you? He told you that he knew he had it previously?
Yes, he told me. I asked him, I said, so where did it come from? And he told me it came from his son's mom. You know, I don't know whether or not where he, you know, but that's just what he told me, and that he did know he had it, and that, you know, he felt shamed and didn't know how I would respond to it.
And that's all he had to say for himself?
Yeah.
That's another thing. Like, a lot of times when people find out they have these diseases, they don't want to say anything because there is a sense of shame, especially if it's an incurable one. So it's really sad. I would just encourage you out there, if you have something, you need to be honest with the person that you're trying to be with. I know I've known people that had incurable diseases and they didn't say anything to anyone because I used to do counseling and things like that for a Planned Parenthood, but and educate people on these different diseases and how to protect themselves. But the bottom line is people really are ashamed and they are embarrassed and they're not going to say anything. And they look at it like it's on you to protect yourself. You know, it's on you if you're letting me have sex with you without a condom. You know these diseases are out here, you know, and you're not my wife and you're having sex with me, or you know, you're allowing me to have sex with you without a condom. That's on you. You should protect yourself and stuff like that. So, you know, you have some people that feel like they're burnt and they want to burn as many people as they can. You have some people who are burnt and they don't care if they burn somebody else. They look at it like that's on you. And some people are really ashamed. And you have some people that just become celibate. They've totally have resigned themselves that they will never ever have a partner in that way again because of these incurable diseases. So if you're going through that, just get some therapy, get some counseling, have your come to Jesus moment or whatever, but just, you know, carry yourself differently in the world, pick your head up high, do not spread what you have because that is not right. And I thank this woman for being brave enough to come forward and tell her story. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Comment below if you're so motivated to do so. I will leave a link for this full video from Fox 26 Houston in the description box below. Peace.